From Studio A at the USC Annenberg School, my name is Justin Hio, and joining me today is DJ and producer Thaddeus Labazuski, also known as Discolines. While you may not recognize his name, you've probably heard his viral remix of Taylor Swift's Love Story all over TikTok. Welcome, Thaddeus.
Thank you. Thank you for operating the cameras and killing this interview, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, should I call you Thaddeus?
Yeah, call me
or
Thaddeus.
Okay.
I like that a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thaddeus, tell me about how you created this hit song.
Okay, so it was a great song. I guess we'll go back to like how I started making music first. So I started in high school. The beats weren't that good, and it got better throughout college. So I was producing a ton of music in college. Fun place to do it. We're at USC right now. This is a beautiful place to learn, be creative. You have all these creative people around you, right? One day I sat down, it was sophomore year, and I was making YouTube videos because I thought, what's a better way to promote my music than show my face, get my name out there?
And sophomore year of college, right?
Sophomore year of college, and I loved YouTube at the time. I still love YouTube, but I was like, let me do a remix and film myself making music, because that way another person can see how the process goes, and I think that's very interesting when you follow an artist. So I loved Taylor Swift at the time. Taylor Swift was actually my first crush. Teardrops on My Guitar. Beautiful song. I was super horny for Taylor Swift when I was younger.
My God.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, this is your story.
But so I made a remix, and I made a house remix because house music was blowing up. I was liking house music at the time, and I did it in a music video. I did it in an hour, and it was basically I took the lyrics of the song, threw a nice like bass line on it, got our kick and our clap, and made it a house tune, 128 BPM. Put it on SoundCloud, make a YouTube video out of it. And I thought nothing of it for 2 years. Nothing happened for like 2 years. It was sitting on SoundCloud, it was sitting on YouTube.
And then it blew up.
And then blew up out of nowhere. I didn't even have TikTok all the time.
Okay.
This is when TikTok started. This was in quarantine.
Oh, okay. So your song that took you less than an hour to make and you just kind of threw out there now has over 6 million videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it has over 11 million streams on Spotify. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, so going back, like it blew up on TikTok. It started with, I don't know if you're gonna play the clips. Yeah, it started on cue.
Yeah, so, okay.
Should I talk over this?
Yeah, so
Okay.
did you post?
No.
Like, this obviously isn't you, right?
So I didn't have TikTok at the time, and this was actually the first one I saw Ethan. Pause it. So the first dude with the striped shirt, Ethan, he's actually a soldier in China right now. He's a station Marine, and he decided to hump the camera to that song and upload the audio with it.
Wow.
That TikTok blew up, and my friends were texting me about it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then this kid, this genius kid, I think he's studying medical. I've talked to both these people because at the end of the day, I'm very thankful for what they did. He started doing the skateboard thing, and people followed that trend as well. We got Dixie or Charlie, one of the Demios, shaking their hips, doing their dance. Everyone was dancing. It was cool. It was because at the time during quarantine, everyone was pretty depressed. I was mad depressed. I was getting done with college. Everyone was locked up. We were in our rooms. But then I saw this, and then the TikTok just took off organically. I didn't even have TikTok at the time.
So how did you find out about, like, where were you? What were you doing when you found out that this song was actually getting traction?
I think I was I was moving back home with my parents because I just got out of college. We were moving out, and I remember like sitting in my room. Like I had one chair. I didn't have any like bed or anything because I'd already been moved. And I'm with my friend, and she was like look at this shit. Like look, like all these big TikTok kids. And I didn't know what big TikTok kids were at the time. But then I saw like Jake Paul do it. I knew who he was from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness, this is insane. But yeah, I was sitting in like just my room with no chairs, and it just took off from there.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that would feel like.
I think I just it's just like luck. Like out of the end of the day, it's a cool song, but a lot of people make great music. I think it's just like I got super lucky. I don't know.
Hey, okay, so you hit gold. You went viral on TikTok.
Hmm.
What came after that?
So, so I'd been doing music for a bit, and my songs were picking up some sort of traction. I think I had around like 50,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, which isn't bad, but it's not like you're not going to be touring or like playing big shows doing any of that. But then it, wait, what was the question again?
Okay, so I just
Oh,
wanted
it
to
took
know,
off, like,
yeah, like what happened after
okay, yeah.
you hit virality?
So
Like,
the
I mean, now
next,
you're in LA, so
yeah, exactly. So the next day, a bunch of people started hitting me up. I got emails through the Woozy. I got so many text messages. A bunch of like big labels were hitting me up. Managers were trying to get on the wave. Everyone was trying to do stuff. I had people from like Sweden hitting me up, and they're like, "We need to remix the song and put a record label out here." And I was just like, "I don't know who the fuck you are." and then I had people like podcast dudes were doing like hitting me up too, like all sorts of media were trying to get interviews. I had a Rolling Stone interview, I had a BuzzFeed interview. But what was interesting is that the song was a remix of a popular song. Taylor Swift is attached to a label called Big Machine, which she's no longer on anymore. Scooter Braun owns it, so he owns the masters of her song. A lot of people don't understand like all the back end stuff of music, how like twisted it is, where these big record labels like own these kids, own all their music. So Taylor Swift didn't have rights to it. She was releasing an album. She was doing other stuff. So they didn't let me put it on Spotify. Scooter Braun of Big Machine, which was the label, didn't let me do anything either. That dude's a dick. He should have. I mean, it was one of the first like few TikTok songs to go viral. People didn't understand like how important this was for music at the time. Like basically the radio. But I was too scared. I didn't put it on Spotify or anything. In retrospect, if I could go back, I would have put the song on Spotify, and it would have hundreds of millions of streams. But I got in contact with this label called Astroworks, and they actually helped me make it. I mean, I made the cut. Like we made a cover version with them, and we put that out, and that's what's on Spotify now.
and has over 11 million streams.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay, so now I'm curious. So this was one of the first songs to really blow up like that on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
That's crazy because now TikTok is a huge it controls the music industry.
Yes,
So-
every artist is trying to get on there. Every manager label is telling their artists, you need to make TikToks every single day. You need to post 5 times a day. I've heard it. I've seen it through all the other people that I've worked with. How big of a deal it is, and a lot of musicians hate it because I mean, at the end of the day, like creating music is one thing, but then trying to market yourself is completely different. I love it though. I love making TikToks. I don't care if it has a bad stigma. And if you think it has a bad stigma now, you're an idiot because everyone loves it. Like,
Exactly.
everyone's on it. Every brand, every sports team, like the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, who is
wish I
doing
knew who
that?
they were.
That's like a 15-year-old kid like that they hired. That's just like commenting. Like,
The intern.
yeah, like, oh, dope, and then doing 100 emoji. It's interesting. But yeah, so TikTok's the wave. TikTok's the wave in the music industry right now too. Every label is looking for like some song to go viral. If you have a song that goes viral, boom, you're signed. You get a record deal.
Okay, so you're signed. You were signed,
I
but
was
you
signed.
no longer are signed. Can you tell me a little bit about
Yeah.
what that was like or what happened?
Without going much detail into it, I got the label Astroworks, which is the electronic label under Capitol. They signed me to that song, and then we had like an option period, I made a whole EP, but that never ended up following through, unfortunately. But then, I don't know, kind of realized that like a major label is not the way to do it, and most of the times you're getting screwed by a label.
Were you screwed over by your label?
Yeah, I mean, they're like, no, I wouldn't say I was. They're good people. I'm not a big artist. They're dealing with a lot bigger people. So they obviously have to allocate their time. It's human beings working that job. They have people they need to work with, and they're busy doing that. So at the end of the day, it's music. They get to choose what goes on their label and doesn't. I don't. Like, if I give my songs to a bunch of labels and they don't want it, then I can't do anything about that. But yeah, that was, like, I'm just doing it independently now. I think that's the future.
Okay, so was it hard to be, you were at the peak of this, like you're signed to a label. I assume that's why you moved out to LA too, right?
Yeah, so it happened, and a manager hit me up, this dude. I don't want to say his name, but he was actually a terrible person, and he screwed me over. But he did kind of motivate me to go to LA, and right now I'm loving LA. I just moved to Marina.
Yeah, so what have you been doing in LA?
What have I been doing in LA?
Yeah.
Like going to the beach, long walks, drinking a lot.
I mean, okay,
I've been,
but
oh,
career-wise.
career-wise.
Yeah, career-wise.
Yeah. I actually had a really good session the other day. So, like, the beautiful thing about this place is that there's so many talented, bright creatives out here. And I've never seen anything like it. Everyone's determined. Everyone's working towards a common goal of making great media, whatever that may be, right? So I'm trying to do a lot more sessions. Right now I have a release schedule where I'm releasing a new song and a music video every month, trying to stay consistent, trying to hit the Spotify algorithm, trying to hit the Instagram algorithm.
And you're also performing too, right?
I'm performing like every weekend, different fraternities. I've gone to Massachusetts. I'm going up to Berkeley. This is a show we did the other night. That was pretty fun at somewhere in Santa Monica, just a local show. I'm going back to Boulder this week, and I'm doing 3 shows.
And one of those shows is with Weethan,
Yeah,
right?
Weethan's a really good producer. If people are watching this don't know who he is, he's a very talented individual. So I'm opening up for him, and then I'm doing 2 fraternity shows the day prior. After this, we're going to Michigan, and then I'm going to Michigan, and then I'm going to Texas.
All right, so it
I'm
looks
hyped.
like...
Yeah, the future's bright, baby. I just got to keep putting out tunes
Yeah, yeah.
that are quality.
So this independent, like, strategy that you have is actually working out for you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, what musicians need right now to like really value them is either is a big song. Like you can get big playing shows, but like that only goes so far. That's only like that much of an audience. If people know your name and know you consistently put out good music, they want to follow you. And all these platforms have that follow feature. So how do you grow? You consistently put out good work. So yeah, that's the plan right now. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, yeah, it does.
I'm kind of going on a rant here. I'm saying a bunch of just random.
No, you're giving good advice actually, because that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
So that's perfect.
I want to touch on the independent route quickly. So I've had people come to me for EP offers, right? And one, for example, is I got offered 12,000 what are they called? Great British Pounds, GBP.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
that's what it is.
a Great Britain pounds probably.
Okay.
Not Great British. Maybe, I don't know.
Like the baking show.
But they wanted 60% of the masters in 5 years of owning like everything. So I would have not I couldn't survive independently off streams if I did that. I had another label that offered me 25 grand for an EP. And I turned that down too, just because it doesn't make sense for like some old out of touch white dude in New York to like control and like own all someone else's music, take all your money. That just doesn't make sense now. There's so many musicians that are blowing up independently. No one needs a label, and if the label isn't going to promote your music, there's zero reason to ever get signed to one. If they give you a fat advance, like a ton of money, yes, take it. But if not, just like try to do it on your own. I don't know. I'm finally confident in my music, I could say.
Okay.
I used to be very shy, because I still am kind of shy. But I've always been like kind of introverted, so I like sitting by myself and making music by myself, and I'm always like, I don't know if people will like this. And
really? Because on stage, though, when you're performing, you look like
drunk.
you're having... Oh my gosh. I mean, that helps. That helps.
I'm sure you know. Loosen up the confidence a little bit. But no, yeah, exactly. I like doing everything independent, like staying introverted, and I like making music by myself, which is weird, but like, I don't know.
Hey, I mean, you're a musician.
Yeah, if it works out that way. And like and I'm finally confident about it, so I can put it out by myself now.
All right. Are there any new releases that we should look forward to?
Let's go.
Okay, come on, let's promote.
So I have a new song called Who Do You Love? That I just dropped with a fire music video. It's clips of me performing. My buddy Gavin edited it for me. Everyone's dancing. It's a really good song. Great vocals. Great drop. If you like tech house or maybe Zed's Dead, a little heavier side, you'd like it.
Okay, and
And
where can we
then-
find you on social?
You can find me at Discolines on
At
every
Discolines.
social.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. This is great.
Thank you for asking questions, Justin. You're killing it.
Okay, thank you, thank you. No, but for real, thank you for joining me. And from Studio A at the USC Annenberg School, my name is Justin Hio.